Humiliation for the spare and his wife Meghan Markle. Donald Trump has had enough of them. He's privately savaged Prince Harry during King Charles's visit to America. Trump remarked to a British visitor when the conversation turned to Harry, "Can you take him back?" Wow. Everyone is fed up with the grifters. I mean, Trump has clearly had enough of the woe is me, ginger and whinger. And the president was also blunt about Meghan Markle's influence on her husband, telling royal biographer Robert Hardman, that wife of his, boy, what's she done to that guy? He's not wrong. He's not wrong, is he? We know it. And I've got to say, I think SNL's latest brutal roast of the Sussexes sums it up very well. The greatest king in my book, he said. How good is that? Of course, unlike deadbeat Harry, who spends his entire life trashing the British monarchy. I mean, in the middle of the US tour, Mr. and Mrs. Grifter get on the cover of People magazine with the headline, "Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are making their own rules." Well, where do you think that puff piece got that line from? The leaking couple themselves and their slaves around them. They are so desperate for good publicity. And when King Charles went to a farm in Harlem and fed chickens, well, Meghan was just desperate to outdo her father-in-law and posted this.
Chocolate man comes to see the chickens.
Oh, please, please.
Compartes is here. And there's Phil and Jill. Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, she's so pathetic, so trashy. Ugh, disgusting. I mean, the disrespect to the king.
Harry and Meghan walked away from the royal family believing America would give them freedom, fame, and a fresh start. But now, the President of the United States is openly mocking them. And not quietly behind closed doors. Publicly. On camera. In front of the world. Donald Trump looked at Prince Harry's recent comments about global leadership and completely dismissed him with a smile that many people saw as pure sarcasm. Then came the line that exploded across headlines. Can you take him back? That single sentence may have done more damage to Harry's image than years of royal drama ever could. Because this was not just political shade. This felt personal. Humiliating. And for Harry and Meghan, it may have confirmed something they never wanted to hear. America is getting tired of them. Before we get into Trump's brutal comments and why they sparked such a massive reaction, you need to understand what triggered this entire situation in the first place. It started when Prince Harry traveled to Ukraine around the same time King Charles was preparing for a major visit connected to the United States. Many royal watchers immediately noticed the timing. Critics claimed Harry appeared desperate to step back into the spotlight and regain the kind of global attention usually reserved for senior working royals. And then Harry made things even more political. During his visit, he delivered a serious speech about the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He called for stronger American leadership and urged the United States to honor its international responsibilities. On paper, the speech sounded thoughtful. Diplomatic. Presidential, even. But there was one massive problem. Harry is no longer a working royal. He does not represent the British government. And he definitely does not speak for America. That is exactly where Donald Trump entered the story. When reporters later asked Trump about Harry's comments during an Oval Office exchange, people expected a routine political answer. Instead, Trump turned the entire moment into a public roast. The reporter asked whether it was appropriate for Prince Harry to make those comments ahead of an important royal visit. Trump paused. Then smiled. "Prince Harry," he said. "How's he doing? How's his wife? Please give him my regards." Right away, the room started laughing. And then Trump delivered the line that completely shifted the tone. "I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry." Ouch. That was not diplomacy. That was a dismissal. Trump did not debate Harry's ideas. He did not acknowledge his military service. He did not treat him like an international figure with influence. He treated him like a celebrity trying to sound important. And when Trump added, "I appreciate his advice very much," many viewers instantly recognized the sarcasm. The message was clear. Harry may still have the title of prince, but politically, he carries no weight. That clip spread everywhere. Social media exploded. Comment sections lit up. Critics of Harry and Meghan celebrated it as proof that even America's most powerful political figures no longer take the Sussexes seriously. But things got worse. Because according to reports, Trump later joked privately during conversations connected to King Charles's visit. While speaking with British guests, the topic turned to Prince Harry. And Trump reportedly asked, "Can you take him back?" The room allegedly burst into laughter. Now think about that for a second. Prince Harry once stood on palace balconies representing the British monarchy. He served in the military. He was one of the most popular royals in the world. And now the President of the United States is joking about returning him like an unwanted package. That is a stunning fall in public perception. What made the contrast even sharper was how warmly Trump appeared to treat other members of the royal family. He publicly praised Prince William and Princess Catherine, speaking respectfully about their commitment to duty and especially complimenting Catherine during difficult times for the monarchy. That comparison did not go unnoticed. To many observers, Trump was basically holding up William and Catherine as the example of what royalty should look like, while Harry and Meghan represented the opposite. And honestly, this tension between Trump and Meghan Markle did not start recently. Not even close. Trump has been openly critical of Meghan for years. Long before the couple fully stepped away from royal duties, Trump had already made it clear he was not a fan. He accused Meghan of being disrespectful toward Queen Elizabeth and suggested she had a negative influence on Harry. At one point, Trump famously said Harry was whipped. And he did not say it once. He repeated it multiple times. He claimed Harry was being led around by the nose and predicted the relationship would eventually end bad. Those comments shocked people at the time because presidents usually avoid speaking about royal relationships in such personal terms. But Trump has never really cared about political filters. He says exactly what he thinks, whether people like it or not. And every time Harry and Meghan appeared in headlines, Trump seemed ready with another jab. When discussions came up about Harry's immigration status in the United States, Trump again took aim at Meghan rather than Harry directly. He basically suggested Harry already had enough problems because of his wife. Then came perhaps the most damaging accusation of all. Trump accused Meghan of disrespecting Queen Elizabeth. Now if you understand how deeply admired the Queen was across the world, especially among older generations, you know why that accusation hit so hard. For millions of people, criticizing the Queen crossed a line. And Trump leaned into that narrative completely. He openly praised Queen Elizabeth and said Meghan's behavior toward her was unacceptable. To critics of Meghan, this confirmed everything they already believed. To supporters of Meghan and Harry, it looked like another powerful figure unfairly targeting the couple. Either way, the damage was done. And then the internet did what it always does. It turned the entire situation into entertainment. Late-night hosts started joking about it. Commentators piled on. Memes spread everywhere. Even Saturday Night Live got involved. That is when you know a public image problem has reached another level. Because once political tension becomes comedy material, it becomes almost impossible to control the narrative. Harry and Meghan were no longer being discussed as serious public figures. They were becoming punchlines. And Harry clearly noticed. Not long after the Trump comments exploded online, Harry appeared on a comedy show and took his own shot back at Trump. Using humor and impersonations, he mocked America's obsession with royalty and joked about electing a king. The audience laughed. But the moment also revealed something deeper. Think about how surreal this entire situation has become. Prince Harry, once one of the most recognizable royals on earth, is now trading comedy jabs with the President of the United States on late-night television. That would have been unimaginable just a few years ago. And this is where the story becomes genuinely fascinating. Because regardless of whether you support Harry and Meghan or criticize them, one fact is impossible to ignore. Their image has changed dramatically. When they first left the royal family, many people viewed them as rebels escaping an outdated institution. There was sympathy, curiosity, excitement. People wanted to hear their story. But over time, public opinion started shifting. The interviews, the documentaries, the family accusations, the constant media battles. For some audiences, it began to feel endless. And now Trump's comments have added another layer to that perception. His jokes reinforced the idea that Harry is caught between two worlds. No longer fully royal, but not fully accepted as an American public figure either. That may be the real reason these comments hit so hard. Because beneath the laughter and sarcasm was a brutal implication. Harry gave up everything, and still has not found where he truly belongs. That is why people keep talking about this story. It is not just celebrity gossip anymore. It is about identity, status, power, reputation. A prince walked away from one of the oldest institutions in the world chasing freedom and reinvention. But years later, he is still fighting for respect. And now even the president of the country he moved to seems to view him as a joke. Whether Trump was being funny, cruel, honest, or strategic depends on who you ask. Some people believe he simply said out loud what millions already think. Others believe he unfairly mocked a man trying to build a new life outside the monarchy. But one thing is undeniable. The moment Trump asked, "Can you take him back?" the entire conversation around Harry and Meghan changed again. Because that line captured exactly how many critics already see the Sussexes, disconnected, unwanted, and drifting further away from the royal image they once represented. And honestly, that may be the hardest part for Harry. Not the criticism. Not the headlines. Not even the jokes. But the realization that after leaving the palace to escape public judgment, he may have walked straight into even harsher scrutiny. So now the question becomes: can Harry and Meghan rebuild their image? Can they finally move beyond the royal drama? Or has the world already decided who they are? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Were Trump's remarks hilarious honesty, or unnecessary humiliation? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal drama and breaking celebrity stories.